It's interesting. As I was digging into these sources, one question kept kind of popping up. What is that deep, almost primal urge we all seem to have? That push to unlock something more within ourselves, that desire to achieve, to grow, to, truly step into our own power. We all feel it, right?
Yeah, definitely. It seems universal.
And today we're going to embark on a deep dive. We're pulling from some timeless wisdom and also modern psychology to see what practical pathways emerge for tapping into that inherent potential.
Okay.
Our sources for this journey are a fascinating mix. We've got enduring insights from classic motivational authors like Napoleon Hill and Norman Vincent Peale.
All giants.
Right. And then we're pairing that with the precise findings of contemporary psychological research, plus some really compelling personal anecdotes. Our mission is clear: to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, the practical techniques to help you achieve clarity, purpose, and passion in your life.
What's truly fascinating here is that we're not just looking at abstract concepts or, historical advice from 70 years ago.
Right.
We're actually dissecting the why behind these principles. How do they actually work within the human psyche? And maybe most importantly, how can they be practically applied in your daily life?
Exactly.
It's a journey, really, that moves beyond just understanding into, actionable strategies that can profoundly change your trajectory.
Absolutely. And when we talk about achieving anything meaningful, anything at all, we have to start with a fundamental truth. You just can't hit a target you don't clearly define.
Obvious, but easily overlooked.
It's the very first step, yet, so often it's the one we gloss over. Which brings us right into the first big idea: the blueprint for achievement, purpose, clarity, and goals. That brings us directly to a core concept, something Napoleon Hill called definiteness of purpose. Now, Hill, fascinating guy, born in a one-room cabin in Virginia, 1883.
Wow. Humble beginnings.
Absolutely. But he became, America's most beloved motivational author. His life's work is really a monument to individual achievement, a cornerstone of modern motivation. He spent decades researching success, interviewing titans of industry and thought.
Andrew Carnegie, Ford, Edison, all those guys.
Exactly. And what he found consistently at the root of every major accomplishment was this unwavering clarity, this definite purpose.
Okay.
Hill posits that desire is the factor that determines your definite purpose in life. Think about that for a moment. It's not what someone else tells you or what society expects.
Right, it's internal.
It's your dominating desire. He emphasizes that you must select this dominating desire, making it your definite chief aim. And then, crucially, it needs to occupy the spotlight of your mind until it is satisfied by transformation into reality.
So relentless focus.
Relentless focus. The only way it gets pushed aside, he argues, is if you permit it to be, usually by, conflicting or competing desires, pulling you in different directions. It's a powerful idea that your purpose is something you actively choose and then actively keep front and center.
It puts the responsibility squarely on you.
It does. Now, Hill didn't mince words about the consequences of lacking this kind of laser-like clarity. He warned that if your aim in life is vague, your achievements will also be vague, and it might well be added very meager.
Ouch. But probably true.
It's almost brutally simple, isn't it? If you don't know precisely where you're going, well, you won't get there effectively, or you'll just drift aimlessly.
Makes sense.
So to counter this, Hill provides very specific guidance. He urges you to know what you want, when you want it, why you want it, and how you intend to get it.
Okay, so it's not just the what, but the when, why, and crucially, the how.
Exactly. This isn't just a wish list. It's a blueprint, a precise set of instructions you craft for yourself. It demands, deep introspection and honest assessment of your true desires and capabilities, but it's the essential first step, moving from fuzzy hopes to actual tangible accomplishments.
It's striking, isn't it, how this historical wisdom from Hill resonates so powerfully with modern psychological understanding, especially how clarifying goals impacts motivation and, eventual success.
Right. It's not just old advice.
No, exactly. Better Up, for instance, a company focused on helping people live with clarity and purpose. They echo Hill's definite purpose through their clarify your goal technique and manifestation. They highlight the absolute importance of being specific about your desires.
It's a direct parallel.
It really is. When you're precise about what you want, your mind becomes primed. It starts to recognize and act on opportunities that actually align with that goal. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency. However, modern psychology also has a crucial nuance here: the importance of realistic boundaries.
Okay, so not just specific, but also realistic.
Yes. While it's vital to be specific, overly ambitious goals can sometimes lead to unrealistic expectations. For example, let's say you're visualizing a promotion and that focus keeps you incredibly motivated. That's great.
Sure.
But if you aim to get that promotion in, say, less than a year, when the company structure or industry norms typically mean a much longer timeline, well, that could lead to deep discouragement, no matter how much effort you put in.
Right, setting yourself up for disappointment.
Exactly. The key is finding that sweet spot. Your goals need to be ambitious enough to inspire you, to pull you forward, but grounded enough to feel genuinely achievable. This prevents burnout or that profound disappointment we just mentioned.
So clarity plus realism.
Precisely. That combination is crucial for maintaining both focus and sustained motivation. So when we think about your aspirations, that first step to any significant achievement is always a clear, well-defined, but also achievable destination.
That clarity, that well-defined destination, it truly is the first step. But even the best blueprint won't build a house without, well, power tools, right?
Metaphorically speaking, yeah.
So in our lives, what would you say is that internal engine, that true power source that actually gets us moving toward those clear goals we've just defined? 2, the core engine, self-belief and self-efficacy. That internal engine driving achievement is, I think, without a doubt, belief in oneself. Norman Vincent Peale, another titan of motivational thought, lays this out in really stark, undeniable terms.
Peale, yeah. The power of positive thinking.
Exactly. He says, believe in yourself, have faith in your abilities. Without a humble but reasonable confidence in your own powers, you cannot be successful or happy. He illustrates this with a pretty poignant anecdote. A man confessed to him, I have a terrible disbelief in myself. I have no confidence. I just don't believe I can put it over. I am very discouraged and depressed. In fact, I'm just about sunk.
Wow. That sounds debilitating.
Totally. This man, 40 years old, felt tormented by inferiority feelings, by lack of confidence, by discouragement and depression. It's such a common human experience, isn't it? This feeling of being fundamentally inadequate.
Sadly, yes. Many people struggle with that.
Peale delves into where these crippling feelings might come from, noting that not a few stem from childhood. He recounts common scenarios. Maybe you had an older sibling who always got A's while you only managed C's.
The comparison trap.
Right, leading to this lifelong belief that you were just consigned to C's. He shares his own fascinating personal story, too. He was painfully thin as a boy, desperately wanting to be fat, tried everything, cod liver oil, milkshakes, you name it.
Huh. The opposite problem for many.
Right. Then, in his 30s, he suddenly did get heavy, bulging at the seams, only to become self-conscious because I was so fat, and eventually had to lose 40 pounds with equal agony.
Well, the irony.
It's a surprising, relatable story about the self-consciousness and endless self-critique that can plague us, regardless of our actual situation. Another example he gives is being a preacher's son and the expectations leading to rebellion. He actually vowed never to become a preacher.
But he did, famously.
He did. It just shows how deeply ingrained these early labels and experiences can become. So Peale's solution to eliminating this profound self-doubt, this inferiority complex, is deceptively simple, yet incredibly powerful. Fill your mind to overflowing with faith. That's the greatest secret, he says.
And this concept of filling your mind with faith, or maybe developing a robust belief in your capabilities, brings us directly to the psychological concept of self-efficacy.
Okay, let's unpack that. Self-efficacy.
Yeah, and it's crucial to differentiate it from related but distinct terms. We often use words like confidence or self-esteem almost interchangeably.
True.
But psychology makes a key distinction. Confidence, for instance, is pretty nonspecific. It just refers to a general strength of belief. You can be supremely confident you'll fail, right?
Good point.
And self-esteem is more about your general sense of self-worth, your value as a person.
Okay.
Self-efficacy, by contrast, is much more precise. It's the belief, accurate or not, that one has the power to produce that effect by completing a given task or activity related to that competency.
So belief in your ability to do a specific thing.
Exactly. Think of it this way. Confidence is knowing you're generally a good driver. Self-esteem is feeling good about yourself overall. Self-efficacy. That's your belief that you can parallel park that specific tricky spot right now or nail that job interview tomorrow.
Got it. Task-specific belief.
Right. It's your conviction in your ability to perform a specific task or action. It refers to belief in one's agentive capabilities, your belief that you can successfully do what's needed to reach a goal. This includes both the level of capability you think you have and the strength of that belief.
And why is this distinction so important?
Because the impact of self-efficacy is profound. Research continually reinforces its importance. A strong sense of self-efficacy actually promotes human accomplishment and personal well-being. Individuals with high self-efficacy don't see challenges as threats to avoid. They see them as things that are supposed to be mastered.
A completely different mindset.
Totally different. When they face setbacks, and everyone does, they recover from failure faster, and they're far more likely to attribute failure to, say, a lack of effort, rather than thinking, I'm just not smart enough.
That's huge for resilience.
Absolutely. It empowers them to approach threatening situations with the belief that they can control them, instead of being paralyzed by fear. In terms of thought patterns, high self-efficacy leads people to take a wider view of a task, figure out the best plan. Obstacles often stimulate to greater efforts.
Wow. And low self-efficacy.
The opposite. People believe tasks are harder than they actually are. They tend toward discouragement and giving up, often blaming low ability. Think about math tests. Someone with high self-efficacy might say, that was tough, I need to study differently. Low self-efficacy. See, I'm just bad at math.
A self-fulfilling prophecy, almost.
Very much so. And interestingly, research suggests the optimal level of self-efficacy is actually slightly above ability.
Slightly above why?
Because it encourages growth. It pushes you just beyond your comfort zone, motivating you to develop new skills. So, as you reflect on your own journey, where do you see the biggest opportunity to maybe strengthen that internal belief in your specific capabilities?
That's such a critical point because our self-belief isn't just about what we tell ourselves we can do, but also what we tell ourselves we can't. This leads right into the insidious nature of self-limiting beliefs.
Ah, yes, the internal saboteur.
Exactly. As Psyche Guides notes, those thoughts whispering, you'll fail at this, or you're not good enough for that, they truly wear us down and undermine our confidence and motivation. Any success under those conditions would indeed be hard-won, like swimming against a current you created yourself.
It's exhausting.
Totally. Imagine this thought experiment they suggest. A friend of yours is in a toxic relationship. Someone is constantly saying those things to them. You'll fail. You're not good enough. Horrible.
Can you imagine that friend reaching their full potential, thriving, feeling empowered? I doubt it. Those remarks cripple a person's spirit.
Absolutely.
The chilling reality, as Psyche Guides points out, is that these are precisely the sorts of things you say to yourself. It's that internal saboteur chipping away at your potential, your peace of mind, your motivation every single day. Recognizing that internal voice and its destructive impact is really the first step to silencing it.
And understanding the origins of self-efficacy can provide both context and, maybe more importantly, a powerful path forward for you.
Where does it come from then? Nature or nurture?
Well, it's complex. As always, there's certainly a biological component. A Norwegian twin study estimated the heritability in adolescence at a pretty significant 75%.
75%. Wow, that's high.
It suggests a strong genetic predisposition. Some people might just be naturally inclined towards higher self-efficacy. However, that leaves a crucial 25% attributed to environmental influences not shared between family members. Unique experiences matter.
And interestingly, other studies using adoptive siblings found significant shared environmental effects. So it points to a really nuanced interplay between nature and nurture.
It's never simple, is it?
Rarely. Ultimately, self-efficacy is significantly influenced by your environment, your cultural context, home environment, and educational environment. Parents, for instance, play a vital role, providing aspirations, role models, and expectations, forming beliefs about their kids' abilities.
Which the kids internalize.
Exactly. It profoundly affects children's own ability beliefs. Think about how consistent encouragement or criticism in one area can shape long-term self-belief.
Definitely.
The classroom environment is another powerful shaper. Teacher attention, social comparisons, the types of tasks, grading systems, school culture. For example, studies show math self-efficacy in collectivist cultures might be more influenced by seeing others succeed vicarious experience and social persuasion compared to individualist cultures, where personal mastery might be more key.
Fascinating cultural difference.
It is. So, while there's a genetic predisposition, there's tremendous power in your environment and, importantly, your conscious choices to shape and strengthen your self-efficacy. You're not just stuck with what you were born with.
And once you start actively shaping that self-efficacy, that core belief in yourself, you truly begin to unlock some fascinating mindset mechanics.
Yes.
It's about moving from simply believing you can to actively creating the conditions for success. 3, the mindset mechanics. Positive thinking and manifestation. Moving beyond that raw belief and capability, let's dive into the practical techniques for cultivating a powerful mindset, what Peale brilliantly called the magic of believing.
A classic.
It is. He presents this fundamental truth. If you expect the worst, you'll get it. But if you expect the best, you release a magnetic force in your mind, which by a law of attraction tends to bring the best to you.
Law of attraction idea, powerful stuff.
And he doesn't just leave it there as theory. He illustrates it vividly. Take the famous anecdote of Josh O'Reilly, manager of the San Antonio Club baseball team.
The blessed bat story.
That's the one. Great players, top talent, but in an inexplicable slump. Why? As Peale explains, they didn't expect to get a hit. They didn't expect to win. They expected to be defeated.
Their mindset was defeatist.
Totally. This negative mental pattern inhibited them, literally froze their muscles. No free flow of easy power. So O'Reilly, desperate, hears about a faith healer, Schlater, gathers the best bats, puts them in a wheelbarrow,
Makes them for a blessing.
comes back jubilant, telling the players Schlater blessed the bats, imbued them with unstoppable power. Of course, Peale notes, no difference in the bats themselves, just ordinary wood.
Right. Placebo effect, essentially.
Exactly. But there was certainly a difference in the minds of the men who used them. They believed they could make hits, get runs, win. This new thought pattern changed the minds of those men so that the creative power of faith could operate.
It wasn't the bats, it was the belief in the bats.
Precisely. It was the magic of belief, a profound psychological shift that transformed their performance. Peale sums it up with this powerful phrase, a vivid metaphor. Throw your heart over the bar and your body will follow.
Like a high jumper.
Exactly. You visualize clearing it, you commit your entire being, your intention, your spirit over it, and your physical self follows. Peale clarifies. Throw your faith over your difficulty, throw your affirmation over every barrier, throw your visualization over your obstacle.
Project the outcome with belief.
Yes, you
Yeah.
project your desired outcome with unwavering belief. Every fiber of your being and your material reality then follow suit, pioneering a path to victory.
It's truly striking how Peale, without fMRI scans or studies on cognitive bias, intuitively grasped what modern psychology is now meticulously proving.
Right. He was ahead of his time.
He really was. That our internal landscape isn't just about feeling good, but actively shaping our external reality through predictable mental mechanisms. His intuition finds such a strong echo in contemporary research on manifestation.
Like the better up analysis.
Exactly. Better Up's analysis breaks down how manifestation techniques actually work. They tap into things like cognitive biases, like thought-action fusion, which makes imagined goals feel incredibly real. It's not just wishful thinking. It's leveraging the mind's own wiring.
Okay, so what are those psychological components?
Well, let's look at a few. First, the law of attraction, popularized by The Secret, right? It suggests a clear mental image of success has power. Psychologically, it works by priming your mind to notice what will bring you toward your goal.
Like tuning your attention.
Precisely. If you want to be more organized, imagining yourself organized makes you more likely to notice tools, tips, routines online that you might otherwise just scroll past. Your brain's filter, the reticular activating system, starts actively looking for things related to organization.
Interesting. What else?
Then there's positive thinking and visualization. Mentally envisioning your intentions builds confidence and ability to get rid of your limiting beliefs. Repeatedly seeing yourself succeed overrides old programming, builds new neural pathways.
Rewiring the brain for success.
Essentially, yes. Third, self-fulfilling prophecies. This goes beyond just focus. If you deeply believe you'll succeed, you'll adjust your actions, attitudes, and responses, making success more likely.
The belief influences the behavior, which influences the outcome.
It's a powerful feedback loop. Believing you'll ace a presentation makes you prepare better, speak with conviction, engage the audience more effectively.
Makes sense.
Fourth, symbolic actions. Acting as if you've already achieved it helps you psychologically create a behavioral pattern of success-oriented habits.
Fake it till you make it.
Kind of, but with genuine behavioral shifts. A writer structuring their day like they already have a publishing deal is more likely to write consistently, build routines, increase confidence, even before the deal is real.
Okay.
And finally, magical thinking and cosmic collaboration. This might sound less scientific.
A little bit, yeah.
But BetterUp points out that belief in external, maybe spiritual forces, provides psychological comfort and can reinforce resilience after a setback. Believing the universe is helping you makes it easier to try again after an obstacle. That belief might motivate you to save for a down payment, for instance, even when it feels daunting. It's the psychological reinforcement, this sense of partnership that matters.
That's truly fascinating how these seemingly magical concepts have such tangible psychological roots, leveraging the very design of our minds. And BetterUp goes even further, right? Outlining practical methods you can actually use.
They do, very practical steps.
Okay, walk us through this.
First, as we discussed, clarify your goal. Be specific, but realistic. Visualization helps, but don't let it replace the actual work, like a study plan.
Right, visualize the degree, but do the assignments.
Exactly. Second, use visualization. Picture your goals to stay motivated. That student picturing graduation. Powerful fuel. But again, it's a tool to fuel action, not replace it. Third, act as if you've achieved it. Reinforces the desired behavior. Aspiring entrepreneur. Start acting like one now. Dress, speak, structure your day. It primes you.
Builds the habits.
Fourth, maintain positivity. Positive self-talk. Want a better marriage. Behave lovingly. Affirm your partner. But remember the caution. This doesn't override real-world limitations. You can't positive think your way into flying.
Good point. Or ignore real problems.
Exactly. Fifth, embrace gratitude. Practice gratitude for current progress, however small. Working on fitness. Credit yourself for every workout. It builds momentum.
Focus on the positive steps.
And finally, trust cosmic forces. As mentioned, for some, belief in partnering with cosmic or universal forces reinforces faith and resilience. But again, the caution. It can foster overconfidence if you rely on it instead of taking action. Leverage belief to empower action. Don't abdicate responsibility.
Okay, those are great practical methods. And didn't BetterUp also talk about something called scripting?
Yes, scripting. It's a specific, powerful practice. The core idea is literally writing out your dream life.
Like journaling about the future.
Sort of, but with a key difference. Stay in the present. You write about your dreams as if it's happening right now, using present tense.
No, not I will be, but I am.
Exactly. I am thriving in my new leadership role. And make it incredibly detailed. Engage all five senses. What do you see, feel, smell, hear, even taste in this manifested reality?
Make it vivid.
Super vivid. This helps your subconscious internalize it, make it feel real and attainable. Crucially, when scripting, you also manifest love and gratitude. Don't just focus on what you want. Dedicate energy to being grateful for what you already have.
Balancing desire with appreciation.
Yes, meditation can help here. Another vital part, leave what you don't want behind. Focus exclusively on positive thoughts, desired outcomes. Avoid self-doubt or negative scenarios.
Don't script the problems you're leaving.
Right. Want a new job? Don't write about hating the old one. Focus entirely on how you'll feel walking into the new one, the exciting projects, the positive team. Redirect your energy towards what you want.
Got it. Positive focus only.
And finally, connect to your emotions. As you visualize, focus intensely on the feelings associated with the achievement. Joy, peace, excitement, satisfaction. Let yourself genuinely feel happy about it now. That feeling will motivate you to attract your desires and align your energy. So if you're thinking about a goal, maybe it's time to literally script it into existence.
Scripting, what a powerful idea. Harnessing the brain's capacity for creating reality. But let's be honest, even with the clearest goals, strongest belief, compelling scripts, life throws curveballs.
Always.
Negative emotions, inner obstacles, they're inevitable. So how do we tackle those? 4V. Conquering inner obstacles, worry, fear, and negative emotions. It's true. All the positive thinking in the world doesn't erase challenges. Norman Vincent Peale gets real about this, describing the choking nature of worry. He says, worry is just a very bad mental habit. And the word origin, from Old English meaning to choke, vividly illustrates how it literally cuts off the flow of vital power, like someone physically pressing on your throat.
That's a powerful image.
Isn't it? It constricts your ability to think clearly, act decisively, live freely. And the toll isn't just mental, it's profoundly physical. Peale notes it's not infrequently a factor in arthritis linked to high blood pressure, heart disease, or ulcers.
The mind-body connection.
Absolutely. He cites a study of executives where worry was prominent in half of those with such conditions. He even shares a staggering statistic from his time. Americans using 19 million tablets per night for sleep. Widespread inability to quiet the mind.
Wow. A national anxiety issue even then.
Seems like it. He even cites a survey suggesting church members live longer, maybe due to finding frameworks for managing worry within faith. Regardless, the implication is clear. A mind burdened by worry struggles to truly live. Peel's ultimate solution. A profound belief. Whatever you believe you can do with God's help.
And he offers incredibly practical step-by-step strategies for this, right? To combat worry and anger,
Yeah.
even if someone doesn't share his exact worldview, the psychological principles often resonate.
Yes, very practical. How do you break the worry habit according to Peel?
He suggests a multifaceted approach. First, simple but powerful. Practice emptying the mind daily, ideally before bed, so worries don't sink into the subconscious during sleep.
How do you empty it?
Visualize worries flowing out as you would let water flow from a basin. Use affirmations like, "With God's help, I am now emptying my mind of all anxiety, all fear." It's like modern mindfulness, letting go of intrusive thoughts.
Okay.
Second, crucial step, refill the mind. An empty mind won't stay that way. Fill it immediately with thoughts of faith, hope, courage, expectancy. He insists faith can always overcome fear. Consciously flood your mind with positive affirmations daily. Weed the garden, then plant flowers.
Actively replace the negative.
Exactly. Third, for those little worries popping up all day, snip them off. Actively reduce worry words in your conversation and internal monologue. Recognize negative self-talk and shift your language.
Change the inner narrative.
Fourth, the I believe technique. Beale tells of Dr. Daniel Poling repeating I believe 3 times every morning. A woman tried it and reported her husband got a job, quit drinking, even her mother-in-law stopped complaining, all within 10 days.
Wow, the ripple effect of one person's mindset shift.
It's remarkable. Fifth, the worry day experiment. A businessman plagued by worry set aside a whole day just for worrying, prepared thoroughly. By noon, he couldn't make heads nor tails of it. Didn't make sense, so I just gave it up. Confronting worry directly revealed its futility.
That's brilliant.
Sixth, for bigger problems, with God, all things are possible. Basket. A worrier wrote problems down, threw them in this basket, a symbolic act of putting the problem in God's hands. It gave him mental space to then handle them effectively, externalizing the burden.
Releasing control.
And finally, daily closure. Giving the day back to God. Pray at day's end. Give back mistakes or successes, victories or defeats. Set your face to the future, unburdened. Start fresh each day.
That's a comprehensive anti-worry toolkit. What about anger and resentment?
He directly links those to ill health, too. Cites examples. Rheumatoid arthritis from suppressed anger in a forced marriage. Chronic colds from unresolved arguments. The antidote. Consciously fill the mind with attitudes of goodwill, forgiveness, faith, love, and the spirit of imperturbability.
Easier said than done sometimes. Any practical steps?
Yes, very practical and strikingly similar to modern cognitive behavioral techniques. First, physical discipline. Oppose anger with coolness. Keep hands unclenched. Lower your voice to a whisper. Difficult to argue in a whisper. Slump or lie down. Difficult to get mad lying down. Disrupt the physical response.
Change the body to change the mind.
Second, self-talk. Say aloud, don't be a fool, this won't get me anywhere, so skip it. Challenge the irrationality.
Interrupt the pattern.
Third, prayer for forgiveness. Apply spiritual iodine on the hurt at once. Say a prayer of love and forgiveness to diffuse the charge.
Immediate emotional first aid.
Fourth, grievance drainage. Open your mind and let the grievance flow out. Pour it out to someone trusted until not a vestige of it remains. Then consciously forget it. Emotional processing and release.
Get it out. Let it go.
Fifth, this one's counterintuitive. Pray for the hurter. Pray for the person who hurt you until the malice is fading away. One man prayed 64 times for a grievance to leave. Persistence is key.
Wow. That takes real commitment.
Sixth, embrace the biblical principle to forgive 70 times 7, 490 times. The repetition itself helps release resentment, making it a disciplined practice.
Forgiveness as a discipline.
And finally, allow Jesus Christ to take control over the wild, undisciplined, primitive urge of anger. Surrender the impulse to a higher power or principle.
So connecting this back, overcoming these inner obstacles isn't just about feeling better, is it?
Not at all. It's about actively creating the conditions for sustained success and profound well-being in your life. It frees up immense mental and emotional energy previously consumed by internal conflict.
That's a truly holistic approach. And it brings us to a powerful, maybe often overlooked dimension, faith. Beyond specific religion, how does a profound trust in something bigger act as a catalyst? The spiritual dimension. faith as a force multiplier. When we talk about faith here, it's maybe less about specific dogma, more about a profound trust in something beyond yourself, right? Whether you call it God, the universe, a higher power.
Exactly, a trust that acts as a force multiplier.
Peale certainly believes so. He unequivocally states, faith power works wonders. And how do you develop it? He advises saturating your mind with the great words of the Bible, pointing specifically to Mark 11. Have faith in God. Whosoever shall say unto this mountain, Be thou removed, and shall not doubt in his heart, but shall believe, he shall have whatsoever he saith.
Powerful words.
And Peale emphasizes heart here means your subconscious and the inner essence of you. Not just superficial intellectual agreement, but deep, fundamental belief. He shares that really memorable anecdote of the Midwestern businessman, the refrigerator manufacturer.
Ah, yes, with the bad toe.
That's him. Believed God was right there in his office, a partner. His toe was chronic, doctors couldn't fix it. So in this moment of almost childlike simplicity, he prayed, Lord, I'm sending this toe right back to the plant. You made that toe. You manufactured it. I would like to have it fixed up.
Like sending a faulty product back to the factory.
Exactly. He saw God as the ultimate manufacturer and problem solver. And the toe. Perfect, the man replied. It's that direct, trusting faith, handing over what feels insurmountable.
A powerful mental framework.
Peale also highlights the simple device of conceiving of God as a partner, or even affecting a merger with God. He tells the story of Bill and Mary. Bill, expecting a promotion to president, gets bypassed for an outsider. Mary's furious, Bill's despairing.
Understandably.
Through prayer with Peale, they not only ask for guidance, but remarkably, ask for God's blessing on the new appointee. And deferred a potential divorce for 90 days. What happened? Within 90 days, the new guy was promoted elsewhere. Bill got the presidency.
Wow, that's quite a turnaround.
Bill apparently exclaimed, Christianity isn't theoretical after all. Same idea for a businessman whose business was sinking. He consciously took God in as a partner, felt quiet and rested, business thrived, attributing his strategies to God-guided ideas. It's about a perspective shift that opens up new possibilities.
And this expansion of faith into practical matters, even including physical healing, is a really significant theme in Peale's work, isn't it?
It is. He seemed quite convinced.
He was. Initially skeptical, he came to argue for faith as a factor in healing due to many evidences. He cites a man with an osteoma, a bone tumor, whose symptoms vanished after long periods of Bible reading, feeling this curious inward feeling of warmth and great happiness.
Interesting.
It underscores that historical connection. Holiness from wholeness, meditation from medication, the link between spiritual practice and physical health.
Which modern medicine sometimes overlooks.
Perhaps. Peale quotes a doctor stating, 60% of the people in this town are sick because they are maladjusted in their minds and in their souls. Adding, no drug or vaccine protects us from our own emotional conflicts. Peale stresses faith, not instead of medicine, but as a powerful complement, supporting the body's healing, supporting interventions.
So faith plus medicine.
Yes. He shares a dramatic story of a woman needing surgery for a malignant growth. After prayer, she experienced an unusually bright light in the room and felt a pressure against her whole left side. Morning came, symptoms gone. 15 years later, the memory was vivid.
A profound personal experience.
It suggests that powerful interplay of mind, spirit, body we're still exploring. Even a heart attack survivor told he'd be an invalid lived another 30 vigorous years. How? By conserving physical and nervous strength, resting worries in God's hands, believing he received new power, praying for strength to mount up with wings as eagles.
Drawing on an inner spiritual reservoir.
Exactly. Optimizing recovery and well-being. And remember Bedrett's point about cosmic collaboration.
Right, in manifestation.
Trusting cosmic forces can reinforce faith in their path, reinforce resilience after a setback, making it easier to try again. That sense of support is empowering. So, this raises an important question for you listening. What role do you allow for forces beyond your immediate control in your journey?
That's a profound question, connecting our inner world to something larger. Okay, let's pivot now. We've focused a lot on the individual journey. How does this relate to how we interact with the world, with others? Because potential isn't just achieved alone. 6, cultivating relationships, being liked and connected. It's fundamental, isn't it? We're social creatures. Our well-being is deeply tied to connections. Peale emphasizes this strongly. You will never be fully happy or successful until you do. Master satisfactory personal relationships. Failure here will adversely affect you psychologically.
It impacts everything.
It really does. Being liked, he argues, is profounder importance than mere ego satisfaction. It hits your mental health, career, sense of purpose. He paints these vivid, almost heartbreaking pictures of feeling unwanted or needed.
The examples were quite poignant.
The old doctor lamenting, "Nobody ever calls me anymore. Nobody wants me. I'm a has-been." That deep ache of loneliness, irrelevance, or the middle-aged woman after her husband died, kids grown, feeling no place for me anymore, nobody needs me.
Such a common fear, especially later in life.
And the retired founder whose son was doing great, but he still longed for that feeling that they needed me a little bit. It underscores that deep psychological need for connection and appreciation. It transcends success or wealth. It's core to human flourishing.
Absolutely. And Peele then breaks down principles for fostering these positive relationships, showing that, popularity isn't about being fake or manipulative.
No, it's about genuine connection.
Exactly. Genuine connection and an outward-focused spirit.
Yeah.
He says Christianity teaches one basic trait will go far toward getting people to like you. A sincere and forthright interest in and love for people. That core attitude naturally draws others in, makes them feel seen, valued, respected.
So start with genuine interest.
Yes, and if you find you're not that comfortable type people gravitate towards. He advises, study your personality for elements of strain, and assume the trouble is within yourself to find and eliminate it. Requires radical self-honesty.
Taking responsibility for your side of the interaction.
Right. He tells of that self-centered and egotistical young man who liked himself too well. This led him to unconsciously brush off others. He wasn't present, so people felt his coolness. Return the brush off, the cure. Teach him to love other people and to forget himself. Shifting focus outward changed everything.
Get out of your own head.
Pretty much. Another surprisingly effective method for handling irritation towards others. Make an exhaustive list of everything you could possibly admire about each person who annoyed you.
Really look for the good.
Yes, Peele found that people you thought you disliked proved to have many pleasing qualities once you truly looked. As your attitude shifts, they start finding new likable qualities in you. It transforms the dynamic. Friction becomes connection.
That's fascinating.
And maybe the greatest of all methods for getting people to like you is simply building others up.
Making them feel good about themselves.
Exactly. He uses the example of a college president who respected their personalities and was constantly building them up. Wrote notes congratulating small achievements. Peele notes, whomever you help to build up will give you his undying devotion. It's about genuinely empowering others because you see and appreciate their potential.
That's powerful. Does he summarize these ideas?
He does. He offers 10 practical rules for esteem. Simple, but really effective. Let's hit a few key ones.
Okay.
1. Learn to remember names. Fundamental sign of sincere interest. Makes people feel important.
Crucial. I struggle with that sometimes.
Many do. 2. Be a comfortable person. Limiting strain. Be easygoing, open. Make others feel relaxed. 3. Practice liking people. A conscious choice. Make it a habit. Look for reasons to like them.
Train yourself to see the good.
4. Assume a mutual liking. Approach interactions expecting positivity, often a self-fulfilling prophecy. 5. Engage in interesting conversation. Be present, ask questions, contribute meaningfully, show curiosity.
Be genuinely interested.
And 6. Give people strength. Help them meet life more effectively. Encouragement, advice, just listening. When you empower others, they feel affection and loyalty. So thinking about your relationships, what stands out here? An opportunity maybe to give more strength or connect more genuinely.
These rules are simple yet profound, truly transformational if practiced. They remind us our external world, especially relationships, often mirrors our internal state. Okay, let's wrap up our journey. Let's talk about the practical art of living, managing energy, finding peace, optimizing efficiency in this crazy busy world. 7. The art of living, pace, relaxation, and efficiency. In our fast-paced world, managing energy and tempo is just critical, isn't it? For well-being, for productivity. Peele points out our energies are destroyed because of the high tempo, the abnormal pace at which we go.
We're burning out.
Exactly. Modern people suffering from nervous tension, synthetic excitement, and noise. Think about the constant stimuli notifications, information overload, pressure to do more faster. He cited that statistic from his time. 7.5 billion headaches a year in the U.S.
The 50 headaches per person, that's wild.
It vividly illustrates how our inner state links to outer pace. The character of our thoughts determines pace. Mind races, inner experience races, even if we're still.
The internal hamster wheel.
Totally. He offers silence as therapy, contrasting noise with its benefits. Noise reduces efficiency, causes physical activity during sleep, preventing real rest. Constant horns, planes, strident noises.
Noise pollution is real.
Silence, on the other hand, is a healing, soothing, healthy practice. Peel recalls finding peace on a balcony in Hawaii, swaying palms, flower aromas, blue ocean. He reflects that even back in New York, it becomes enshrined in memory as a private retreat his mind can visit.
A mental sanctuary.
Yes, or childhood memories of quiet streams, churches, places of stillness revisited in memory. The key is cultivating these internal sanctuaries, regardless of physical location.
Integrating calmness and efficiency into a high-demand life really is an art. And Peel offers concrete practices, many surprisingly intuitive, aligning with modern wellness principles. He advocates an easy-does-it attitude.
Easy does it. Sounds nice.
Urging us to do everything more slowly, less hectically, and without pressure. He gives the example of baseball manager Branch Rickey, who didn't want players who overtried. Straining makes muscles taut. And Ty Cobb, master of easy power, making everything look effortless yet effective. Release maximum power with minimum apparent effort comes from relaxation, focus.
Power through ease, not strain.
Exactly. He also introduces Eddie Rickenbacker's technique of collapsing physically. Rickenbacker, this impressive, imperturbable figure, would literally let go every muscle, conceive of himself as a jellyfish or a huge burlap bag of potatoes spilling out.
Great visual.
This complete physical release led to a calm mind, renewed energy. It's basically progressive muscle relaxation, still used today, even in mundane moments, like traffic jams. Peel tells of a minister using them as opportunities to relax. Even napping, trusting horns would wake him.
Reframing annoyances as opportunities.
Profound reframe. It's not the length of relaxation, but the quality. Peel emphasizes the rough is only mental. Problems are real, but not actually so difficult as they seem. Your mental attitude is the most important factor.
Perception shapes reality again.
Consistently. To bring this all into working life, Peel offers 10 rules for working hard, easily. Let's highlight a few really resonant ones.
Okay, give us the highlights.
Don't think you are Atlas carrying the world. Let go of self-importance, unnecessary strain, the need to control everything.
Delegate, trust the process.
Think it's easy, and it tends to become easy. Perception shapes reality. Approach tasks believing they're manageable.
Positive framing.
Become efficient. Knowledge is power over your job. Easier to do things right through understanding, streamlining, not rushing, but intelligent organization.
Work smarter, not harder.
Practice being relaxed. Easy always does it. Don't press or tug. Power from ease, not strain. Consciously release tension throughout the day.
Consistent theme.
Assume the outcome will be positive. Always take hold of things by the smooth handle. Approach challenges from the easiest, most positive angle. Pre-frame for success.
Set yourself up to win.
And finally, learn the joy of sitting in the sun. Beautiful metaphor for quiet reflection. Just being, connecting with something larger. A period of gentle contemplation that renews spirit and mind.
Carving out that quiet time. So whether it's managing stress, optimizing work, finding peace, remember you have the power to choose your pace, your mindset, turn pressure into peaceful efficiency. Outro. Wow, what an incredible deep dive we've taken today, unleashing your inner power. We started by understanding the absolute necessity of definite purpose, moving from vague aims to clear, actionable goals, that blueprint for your aspirations.
The foundation.
Then we explored the profound impact of self-belief, self-efficacy, learning how our internal engine drives or hinders us, and how those self-limiting beliefs, those whispers of doubt, can be overcome.
Tackling the internal saboteur.
We delved into the fascinating mechanics of positive thinking, manifestation, seeing how thoughts can literally shape reality, backed by timeless wisdom and modern psychology. It's not magic, it's how our brains are wired.
And we didn't shy away from the inner obstacles, did we? Worry, fear, resentment. Learning Peel's practical steps for breaking those habits, refilling our minds with faith, positive energy.
Essential skills.
We explore the transformative role of faith, not just religious, but as a universal force multiplier. How a merger with God or trusting cosmic forces can lead to astonishing breakthroughs, even maybe in healing.
That powerful connection.
And finally, we turn to human connection. Understanding that cultivating strong, positive relationships isn't just about ego, but profound psychological well-being, true happiness. Wrapping up with the art of living with a calmer, more efficient pace, transforming frantic energy into peaceful productivity.
It really is a journey from within to without, isn't it? A profound understanding that by transforming your inner landscape, you actively reshape your outer world, your experience within it.
Which leads to a final thought. This raises an important question. If William James was right, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. And if what you are determines the world in which you live, then how might your consistent application of these principles? How might it not only remake your life, but also subtly transform the world around you? One thought, one action, one peaceful breath at a time.
Something powerful to consider.
We encourage you to explore these principles further, maybe revisit some points from today, and really begin applying them in your own life,
Yeah.
starting now.